What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sora Synn Gaming, and we are back with another video for all of you. I am here playing the games that you're curious about so that you can see for yourself whether you are interested in downloading it or not. So, the new game that we're talking about today is one called Exos Heroes. It was recently released in the global market and is by Line Games, if I'm correct. And here we go. We're gonna do the same thing we did with the Blade and Soul video, where I talk about the pros and the cons and my personal views afterwards. So, starting off with the pros, the first thing I noticed is that the game has an interesting art style. It's quite pretty, and the graphics are interesting. I mean, yeah. You know, it does say in the game, visualism, I believe it says. So, it's going for some kind of artsy anime style look. The user interface seems quite clean. In other words, it's not too messy. Even the menu, like when you go to check out the options and the system menu and things like that, it's very tidy. It doesn't take up the whole screen when you're going through the menus. It's quite nice. Unique characters. From what I've seen, the heroes all look very cool. There's some really cool looking fated heroes are the orange grade heroes. You have like green, blue, purple, and then orange. Obviously, orange being the best. You can also craft your own heroes, which I thought was pretty cool. So basically, when you start to do more gacha summons, you'll get a lot of, 1 and 2 star greens that you probably don't want to keep. You can actually disassemble those, and it will give you items which you can then use to craft more heroes and hopefully get some legendary or fated heroes. I believe I got a couple legendary, that's the purple, from crafting. You can choose between English, Japanese, or Korean voiceovers, which I thought was quite nice. Unlike Dragon Raja, where you only have English for the global release, you cannot pick Korean or Japanese. So you have to listen to the voice acting of the English people, which is not terrible in Dragon Raja, but we're not talking about that. In Exos Heroes, I of course picked the Japanese voiceovers, and they sounded as good as what you can expect from like an anime style game. The cinematics are fully voiced. The Japanese voiceover is pretty good. I cannot mention the other two because I always play in Japanese voiceovers, so I didn't actually have a listen to those. But judging from my personal experience with English voiceovers, usually they're not so great. Now the graphics, there's not too many options, but you can choose 60 frames per second with anti-aliasing, which is always a plus for me. Obviously I turned that on as soon as I was able to get into the graphics options. There is a world map, and with the world map you can actually freely roam around. Now it's a little bit different than open world. It's not what you'd expect. It's just literally a bunch of chibis walking around on the actual literal world map. But on that map you can interact with travelers and other things that you cannot go to by just auto-pathing. You can see them on the map. There'll be little icons, and you can go towards them to find different things to do. So also, when you start the game, you are given a multi times 11 free gacha roll. I believe it's multi, it seemed like it was. So you can try and get a fated hero. I got the Lolly Tank, and judging from the comments, she's a pretty good one. So I didn't need to do multiple rolls because I'm happy with the tank. I don't know if you can actually get double fated heroes or like a fated and a legendary, but I didn't want to try my luck. You can earn a lot of excess. Now excess is spelled XES. That's the currency for the gacha. You can actually earn quite a lot of those from playing the game. I'm actually already close to being able to do my 3rd times 11 summon, and I've only been playing the game for less than a week. Heroes also have very flashy combat cinematics. They look really cool. I can imagine it getting kind of boring maybe in the future, but I haven't reached that point, and I'm sure you can turn it off in the settings. I'm very happy every time I get a new hero. I just got a new faded hero yesterday, and her combat animations are really cool to watch. Dailies, you do have dailies, but thankfully they are quick to complete. They do not take hours like some games. I was done within less than an hour, really. And of course, the controversial one, which of course is in my pros and in the cons, as always, autoplay, because some of you love autoplay, so it's mentioned there so that you know it is in the game, because I know a lot of you do ask that. So now moving on to the cons. Now actually I don't actually have too many of those because I actually really enjoy this game, but let's see, some parts of the game haven't actually been translated into English. I did notice a couple times some when you go into some menus, maybe there'll be some blurb there, and the blurb would be still in Korean, even though it is already a global release. The game does seem a little bit confusing at the start. It's a bit different than other hero collectors, but it is easy to pick up. I mean, it just have to go through a few games, matches, and the story, and you will start to understand it. Graphics are a bit weird. Now they are artistic, I understand that, but it's a unique art style, and it might not be for everyone. I'm not sure what graphics engine it uses, but I don't think it's Unreal Engine 4. It looks nice, but it also looks a little bit dated. But the art style, maybe you can forgive that a little bit. Give it a bit of leeway there. Moving on to the cash shop. I did have a look at the cash shop, and it did seem maybe a little bit expensive for those countries where the currency is not in your favor. For example, for me, it's a bit more expensive than, say, if I lived in the US. So keep that in mind. The cash shop can be expensive depending on your location. Also, I noticed that the chat cinematics, now this is different from the cinematics I was talking about before. The chat cinematics are the separate cinematics where they have, it's kind of like those visual novels where they have two people on one person on either side, and they chat to each other. Those are not voice acted. They only make grunts and noises, like reaction noises, while they're talking. So you have to read it and just hear those grunts and things like that, which can be kind of annoying. Like, I'd prefer fully voiced over just some grunts and groans and other reaction noises while they're having an actual conversation. And of course, the final one is, you got it, autoplay, because like I said, it's a pro and a con. Depends on the person. Anyway, so those are my pros and cons, and my personal experience from the game. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a lot different from like King's Raid or Epic 7. Yeah, the art style is a bit weird. Took me a little bit of time to get used to, but I don't hate it. And I have been playing it every day since I downloaded it. I don't play it all the time because I'm still invested in Dragon Raja, but it's a nice game to play on the side. You guys might actually find it your primary game. Like I said, it's a good one. I actually really enjoy it, and I don't find it heavily pay to win. It seems like I've heard people say that it is, but I personally haven't seen that. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of the gacha summon currency right now. Maybe that will change the higher level I get, but for now, I'm still enjoying it, and maybe you guys will too. So give it a go, see what you think. If you like it, leave a message in the comments below and tell me how you go. And as always, thank you for watching. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and remember to leave a like and a subscribe. It'll help me out greatly. And of course, hit that bell icon if you really do enjoy my content and want to see when I post the next video. So, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.